This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution, and today I am delighted to be joined by Susann and Ralf Wassmann, who are joining us all the way from Hungary. Now, where are you exactly in Hungary? My knowledge of the geography of Hungary is rather limited, I have to say.
So yeah, Hungary is placed in the east of Austria, and we are on the border to Croatia. There is a river called Drava in the south of Hungary. It comes from Austria, and this marks the border between Hungary and Croatia. And from our vineyards, we are just looking down to these rivers. It is a little far away, but we see this flat land with the river there.
All right, and you're not originally from Hungary, are you?
No, no, we are both from Germany, and we go here to making for winemaking.
And how did you come into being winemakers?
I started winemaking very, very early. I was 12 or 30 years old.
Oh, boy.
And but in my region for my family, there's not it's not a wine region. It's in the north from Germany. But
Right.
I don't know. I get this in fact for fermentation, for drinks and fermentation. And my first wine was from
I don't Hagebutte. You know the wild roses who make
white roses.
Red
yes, yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was an experiment, and it was very interesting, and it was drinkable.
Okay, I'd like to taste something made from those at some point. I have to say I've never experienced that. And then the two of you met. I'm assuming the two of you met in Germany and then moved to Hungary together.
Yes. So Ralf then he went to Geisenheim and studied winemaking, wine growing, and we met when he was already working in Heidelberg as a beverage technologist, and I was still studying law. And when I finished studying law, I didn't find my dream job, so I was looking around what could I work else, and I landed up in a wine importing company, and we were selling wines from Bordeaux and Burgundy. And there was a little library in this little company, and there was a book from Hugh Johnson, and
yes, yeah.
In this book was written that the best Portugieser in the world is grown in Villány in Hungary. So this really surprised us. This was in autumn '97, and there were no really good Portuguesers in Germany then. So we got so curious, and we decided to make a weekend trip down to Villány to taste these best Portuguesers of the world. And when we arrived, it turned out that all the Villány winemakers are from German origin, the so-called Danube Swabians. They came there in the 18th century because Maria Theresia, a queen, wanted to reculture this region because it was all empty after bad wars with the Turks. So everybody died and everything was destroyed. And so they settled here, and they kept their German culture and language. So we arrived in Villány and spoke German to everybody.
Okay, that's handy. Yes,
it was very easy for us to stay here.
So we didn't expect this. It was really surprising, and surprising was also the wine quality. Not only Portuguese, we tasted so excellent Cabernet Sauvignons, Cabernet Franc, and Blaufränkisch, which we call Keek Frankos.
Yes.
And also the Italian Riesling as a white wine. So wow, we were just wow. Why does nobody know this in the Western world? And yes, because it was always Ralf's dream to have an own winery. So then the Villány winemakers say, if you want to own winery, then your place is here.
Okay.
And they took us around, showed us vineyards, cellars, and houses. And after 3 days, we bought a house, an old farmer's house, and an old cellar, and decided, okay, we will start our winery.
Now, I have to ask you, excuse my ignorance here, what type of soils and terroir are you working with there?
The region all over Hungary and around it, there was the Pannonic Sea
The basin.
many time ago, and so that we have limestone on as the stone, and up there is loess and clay. So it's sometimes it's more loess, sometimes it's more clay, and sometimes this layer is thicker, and sometimes it's thinner. But it doesn't vary so much. All around Villány it is this limestone and this loess and clay.
So very similar soils to just across the border into Austria, right?
Yes, it's the same like in Burgenland.
Yes. I've been on that border, right along that border, a couple of 3 years ago now. Seems that time has passed very quickly over the last year and a half. But we tasted some wines from just across the border. I was in Austria, and it was interesting, especially with the Keckfrankisch. The similarities between the Blaufränkisch on the Austrian side and then the Keckfrankisch over on your side of the world. And which grapes do you grow yourself?
Yes, we grow Keckfrankisch and we grow Cabernet Franc and a little Cabernet Sauvignon. In a few years ago, we had also Portugieser and Italian Riesling and a little Merlot. We stopped doing this. We believe best or most in Keckfrankisch and Cabernet Franc here in Villány.
So that's interesting because it was Portugieser that drew you to the region, and yet you've uprooted all of that and got rid. Well, okay, well that's evolution for you. So.
Yes, to be honest, we really made very nice Portuguesers, and we got something like famous for Portugieser here because I think we were the first wine growers who took serious this variety.
Interesting.
But because nobody else did this, and in every winery, the Portugieser was always the cheapest wine and the thinnest wine, and it's just a wine. Don't think about it. So nobody wanted to pay really our work which we did with Portugieser, and we made it many years just as enthusiasts. But when we got older, we just felt, our energy is not endless. Maybe we have to manage our energy a little better, and this was we were very sorry, but it doesn't make sense to work so hard on a variety and get not paid for it. So
no, of course I understand that.
And another point is on ecologic way for Portugieser, it's very strong. It's not easy. It's a very sensitive variety in this way, and you have a lot of work on it, and you don't get money.
I understand. Now, speaking of money, you've chosen to go down the biodynamic route, which can be quite an expensive route to take, can it not?
Okay, the certification, it's not a cheap certification. But to work biodynamic, I don't think it is more expensive than to be conventional or organic.
And I guess that my question would be with regards to yields and the like.
The yields, okay, the yields, okay, we started with only 1,000 square meters and slowly grew up to 2 hectares, and we don't want to have more. So, and we have no other job. Okay, we are a little advising if
it's job enough
in our organic plant protection, but this is not really an income. So we want to live from these 2 hectares, so we can only go for qualities. So,
I understand, yes.
high quality.
Yeah. So and also we as wine lovers and wine drinkers, we are rather interested in really high quality. So
I mean, 2 hectares, what's your average annual production from that?
Per year we get 8,000 bottles.
Right. So
6,000,
you're a niche boutique producer.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. Not long ago, a journalist called us boutique winery. Yes.
Oh, most certainly.